All right, welcome to the Game 2 news conference of the NCAA Knoxville Super Regional. We are joined by Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello, catcher Cal Stark, and first baseman Blake Burke. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions. Raise your hand, and we will pass the mic back to you. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, you're in a obviously it's a little different weekend, but we kind of say it in our conference. You're in a 3-round bout, and you're going to have to take blows and give blows, and obviously we were fortunate yesterday, but today they delivered a couple more blows than we did, and thrilling for the fans that we're one away from being in a really good position, but it didn't happen that way, so we'll roll into Sunday, which is always an important day, and be 1-1 and get after it.
Questions will start with Karthik, row 3.
You guys had 3 hitless innings for them to start off the game, and then the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, I think they had like 11 hits for 10 runs. What do you feel like changed after the first 3 innings?
I don't think anything drastically changed. I mean, they got a good lineup, and they're certainly going to compete. At no point are they ever going to go away easy. So they were able to put some things together, and you go back, and anytime you make decisions with pitching, if you get some zeros or ones out of the deal, then it went well, and maybe you made some accurate decisions, and if it doesn't, then maybe we could have made some better decisions in those situations.
Sam, row 4.
Coach, throughout the season, you had many, like treating this like a weekend series, you had many Sunday games, winner take all. How much, and you talked about how that will help you when it comes to tournament play, how much do you think that will benefit you going with your season on the line tomorrow?
I think it's a benefit. I mean, you got the series on the line is what you got, and it helps to have a vision of what it looks like, and it helps to have reps. You can think any sport you want, but you want as many repetitions as possible, and the one thing about practice is it's tough to put yourself in a practice or training situation where you can replicate things like today or things like tomorrow or other opportunities we've had on game day that you could talk about. So no question it's a benefit.
Ben, far left.
Tony and Cal, could you both speak to what you saw from Drew there those first couple of innings, and then maybe what spiraled for him those last couple of innings?
Yeah, it was from my perspective, it was very sharp early on. I think the biggest thing, a couple times you're trying to be careful with guys, and it gets sideways, whether it be with a base open or particular situation. And I can't speak for Drew, but that's the only thing that really stood out to me.
Ryan, front row, and then back row.
Can Cal answer real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I thought he looked good early on. I thought he made really good pitches. We just couldn't find that put away pitch, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Cal, what gives you confidence that this team will respond well tomorrow and get it done?
Like we've talked about, we've done it. We've been in a lot of 1-on-1 series throughout the year. So we know what it looks like. We know how to treat the game, stuff like that. So just keep that same mentality coming back to the field tomorrow.
Hey, Tony, with the way that your runs came early, do you think that impacted the at-bats in the middle innings, trying to swing too hard maybe?
Nah, they switched pitchers, and it took us a minute to adjust to making a guy get in the zone, and then also the tempo of what he had going on. So if anything, you'd like to look back and maybe adjust a little quicker, have a plan immediately, who you're facing. But other than that, I don't think there was anything to detract from that. You'll take runs any way you can get them. But, it'd be nice if there's some guys on base when you hit homers, but it's the first inning and it went down the way it did. Kind of a unique situation.
Paige, then back to Ryan.
Blake, yesterday Hunter said that the mindset really is just to keep the foot on the pedal, and then offensively something will change. Obviously in the 9th inning, you're getting the crowd awake over there at second base. Just kind of how much did you guys lean into that mindset to give yourselves a chance in the 9th inning, and how important is it to make that transition maybe earlier in the game tomorrow?
I feel like we always have confidence that we're one inning away, and when we got some runners on that last inning, we kind of had that confidence going in there, and I feel like we just need to have better at bats throughout the game tomorrow for us to have a chance.
Tony, what did you see being the differences in the at bats from 7th and 8th inning to the 9th inning?
For our guys,
yeah,
I think forcing forcing the pitching into the strike zone, 100% was a big difference. And then a little bit of adjusting, where you're trying to strike the ball, above, below, whatever it might be. But I think the biggest thing was commanding the strike zone as best as you can at the plate.
Being the Gentry.
Tony, how was Xander's leg, I guess, after the line drive he took last weekend going in tomorrow, and kind of what do you envision pitching-wise for tomorrow?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he obviously took that shot, was pretty good, and was bruised the next day, but it was kind of, that Monday it was all laughs, at least. I don't think it was laughs for him, when it occurred, and I'm sure it stiffened up at some point, but has kind of been a non-issue for the week, and that's our guy in the locker room. It's our guy on the field, so he's got the ball, and we'll worry about the rest later, but I don't think we've done anything to gas anybody out this particular weekend.
Tony obviously came up short there at the end, but how important do you think it was to get that rally going in the ninth? You also forced them to make a pitching change there at the end and maybe get some momentum for tomorrow.
You'll take a win anytime you can get it, so I'm sure they're elated on their side, but it helped more than our guys. Our guys are too young, and they're too competitive, and they're upset right now that they get left on deck or they could have made some damage. But when it is a true three-round bout or a true series in the SEC, every little thing counts. And fortunately this year we had benefited from it, but there's also some series where we made it tougher on ourselves or not able to come up because of different pitches or innings that are involved in that. They all have weight to them. Obviously the game ended in the ninth inning, but I think it helped more than our players will even know.
Eric, far left and Page.
Cal, I know you guys always have confidence in all your guys, but Xander's pitched so well of late. What gives you more confidence that he can come through again in this, do or die situation?
I mean, like we talked about earlier, the 1-1 series, he's been the guy to throw on him. So he knows what it's like. And he's been that guy every time we've had a series on the line. So knowing that just gives the whole team just an extra boost of confidence that he can go out there and throw it well.
Tony, against Southern Miss, you mentioned that maybe you brought too much attention to the dugout yesterday. Evansville thought they weren't loose enough. Kind of felt like the scripts flipped a little bit today. Did you feel that there was tension in the dugout that got in the way until that ninth inning?
Not for us. I think frustration at certain points. You want to be winning the game, and there's kind of a flow to it. But, you're out there during BP. To me, both times they've showed up to the park loose. Anytime I've seen them on video, and then I think that's, kind of a unique thing about our group is they play with a lot of intensity, but for the most part, are mature enough to manage that and stay loose. So each game's got its own flow to it, and there's ups and downs throughout the course of the game. But if anything, I'm trying to follow these guys' lead as opposed to direct them. That's kind of how this year's gone, fortunately.
Well, you guys being the number one team in the country all season long is the same narrative. Does tomorrow's game weigh a bit more then for you guys? Meaning, if you guys lose, it could be another unsuccessful season for you guys?
No, there's no way it's not a successful season. And the whole, basically the way the numbers go is we don't need to worry about anything other than tomorrow. But the numbers go, we want to play at home. You'd like to be playing, first of all, in a regional. And then if you can, you'd like to be playing. And if you're fortunate enough to get to a super regional, then it's a race to 2 wins, and that's really all it is. And you could, if you're bored and you're on your phone too long, or you get involved in social media chats, which will be up for you all, not our players, you could paint all kinds of different pictures tomorrow. But really what it is we're fortunate to host Evansville, one of the best teams in the country, and we're trying to win the series tomorrow.
Last two, Casey, then Ryan.
Coach, you mentioned how every game has a flow up and down. How much of momentum would you say is in your control and is in this team's control, and how much of it is just kind of a little bit up to chance?
I don't think much is up to chance. The old you make your own breaks, but I think what's important is for guys to look to the guy next to him, right or left, front, forward, back, whatever it might be, and understand that you got to play for that guy. It's very easy when stakes are quote-unquote high or there's emotions going on or our fans are standing on their feet to reflect inwardly and kind of worry about what you got going on yourself. The best way to be a good teammate and play a team sport is to have that energy go outward and make sure you're looking after your guy, whether it be Cal looking after for Blake or vice versa, because Blake knows Cal's got his back. And so that's what I think you can control, and the results may go up and down, but when you got a group of guys who do that, then it makes it a fun environment, and it also makes it an environment where you slightly put or more than slightly put the percentages in your favor.
Tony, I'm assuming it was the leg soreness for Semo that had him DHing. Do you anticipate him being the same tomorrow, or possibility he could be back at second?
No, he'll play second base tomorrow. And yeah, his leg was sore. It's a little iffy. And that was the decision that was 100% the way to go today. And the decision tomorrow will be to play him at second base. So that'll be 100% the way to go.